y'all see her in this?
She's a business owner.
A business owner. Kiss your brain.
A teacher.
Can be a teacher like Miss Joseph. Very good. I see. Or you could be who remembers? Say, I can be a social worker.
I can be a social worker.
Yes, a social worker.
Hi everyone, my name is Martinique Brown and I am the owner and founder of Today I Want to Be. We are solving the problem of kids and youth not seeing someone who looks just like them in a variety of career fields. We are a career exploration resource for parents and educators, and through our interactive products and virtual interviews, kids and youth are able to see representation of their race and gender in career fields that they may not even know about. With every product we create, from our educational aids to our apparel and accessories, we are intentional about encouraging and helping kids and youth see that they can become anything they want to be. We are the only company who not only focuses on career exploration for kids and youth, but we also give them an opportunity to ask professionals about their careers every month during our free live virtual interviews as student co-hosts. If you are looking for a company that is dedicated to helping your child or student see that they can become anything they want to be, make sure you visit todayiwanttobe.com today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Today I Want to Be Career Exploration Interview. I'm your host, Martinique Brown. I'm so excited that you guys have decided to tune into the show. Today, I'm really excited about our career exploration interview. I have one of my really good friends, Ron Collins here, who is a real estate developer, and we are going to be able to learn so much more about what he does on a day-to-day basis. I'm really excited that you all are tuning into the show. If you are tuning in, give us a virtual shout out. We will not bite you. Let us know that you are in the virtual world. Now, one of the great things about this show is actually it's interactive. So if your student or your child is with you, they can actually post their questions and their comments in the comments fields, and I can relay those to Ron. Now, if you're tuning in from any other page other than Martinique Y. Brown, or Today I Want to Be from our Facebook page or our YouTube channel, make sure you come on over to one of those three pages and I can see your questions and comments as well. Now, another great thing about the show is you can actually stay in touch with Ron. So now if you say to yourself, man, I want my child to go into this field, I just want to be able to talk to Ron, maybe on a different time or things like that. You can definitely reach out to him. His contact information is listed in the description box. Another great thing is Ron was actually featured in our flashcards. So if you're interested in purchasing any of our products, make sure you go to that description box and you can actually click on that link and learn so much more about our flashcards and the other 36 or 35 rather feature professionals, and kids and youth can actually explore all of their different careers as well. So Ryan, thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, thank you, friend. Thank you.
You are welcome. So Ryan, can you just tell our viewers just a little bit more about yourself and how long you've actually been a real estate developer?
Ryan Collins, from New Orleans, Louisiana. Can I start with it? Always, gotta rep NOLA. But yes, I started off real estate development probably full time since 2019, but I've been doing real estate since 2006. Started off as a real estate salesperson, graduated to a real estate broker, and now I went from investor to developer. So that was my graduation from real estate salesperson to actually getting into the development side of the
Now you actually have your own business, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Give your business a shout out. What's the name of your company?
The name of the business is Collins LLC. It's registered in the state of Louisiana and in Mobile, Alabama. I'm in two locations now. Yeah, I'm going to be doing. We trying to get some stuff done, across the Gulf South.
That's good. That's good. So now, I know that sometimes, a lot of people have to work another job before they do go into real estate developing or the real estate industry. Can you just let us know a little bit more about what you did before 2006?
Oh, okay. I was in the military, United States Marine Corps. Got out the military, went to college for engineering design, got an associate's degree in engineering design, and I've worked in the oil field and the oil refineries for about 22 years. So yes, and as I was growing, I was able to use the oil field to buy real estate, found my passion for real estate while I was in the oil field and, was able to make the progression.
That's good. But what made you even interested in real estate though? Because if you have this great job, why even venture off into something else? First, tell us what made you interested in real estate, and then what gives you the nerve to think that you can do it on your own?
I still get nerves to this day. But when I was younger, I actually wanted to be an architect. I used to like houses. I used to draw floor plans, rearranging, different things inside the house. So I wanted to be an architect, right? So when I went to drafting school to get my associate's degree, everybody, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna draw houses. And the old schools, they was like, no, young man, go this way, because it's more money doing pipe design and oil field design, in that in that area. So that's kind of how I got turned, because you see them dollar signs and you kind of make that pivot this way, like, oh, okay, I see where we're going with this. So that's kind of like how I moved from engineering to the real estate, because I always had a passion for real estate and it was just in me. So even as I'm, performing at a high level at this engineering design field job, it was still real estate. It was still real estate.
But did you enjoy what you were doing when you were an engineer?
Yes, I enjoyed it. Yes, without question. I was able to travel. We was able to do a lot of different things. It wasn't the same job twice, because every job was unique. Every job was, in and of itself. So it was never like you were doing the same job twice. Yeah, I absolutely enjoyed it.
So do you feel that it is necessary? Like, could a high schooler just jump into real estate developing, or could a college student just jump into real estate developing? What do you think?
Yeah.
Let's start with the high schooler and then let's start with the college student.
To real estate development, I don't know if a high schooler could jump straight into it, because you really have to have the organization skills and the people skills. And so if that high schooler was able to reach out to everyone and, be able to ensnare a large group of people and become friends, then yes, because it's more logistics, organization, and managing people, So yes, I would say a high schooler could do it. Yes, but
Okay.
Definitely college student can do it, you know, because they will, I'm sure they'll be in the engineering, I mean, the real estate field in college. So they'll have that natural, you know, schooling towards being a real estate developer.
So now when we say that, let's act like, I'm
Okay.
a high
Okay.
schooler
Okay.
and, I do have those organizational skills and I do have
Mhm,
those people skills as
mhm,
well.
mhm.
Would it be best for me to just go work for a company or like, could I just start my own company like Ron Collins?
Like Collins LLC. Huh?
Yeah,
It took a lot to get that name, you know,
I know
right?
that's
It took a
right.
lot to get that name. Um, well, yes. First you have to network. Make sure you network with plumbers, you know, general contractors, electricians, HVAC people. You have to network and make sure that if if you walk into a house, you got to make sure that you're able to get everything done, everything that it takes to take that house from conception to reality. You
Mhm.
have to make sure that you can get it done. So you have to make sure you're networking and make sure that the people that you have are reliable and able to complete the job. So yes, you can have the networking skills, you can have the organization, and you can roll right into it.
But what about the funding for it? Is it because a lot of
Mm.
times I wouldn't think that a high schooler would have that money to just start their own business in that field. What do you
Well,
think?
well, there's different sources of funds. You know, you can
Okay.
do private lending, you can do hard money lending. Most high schoolers, you know, maybe they had a small business while they was in high school and they built
Mhm.
up their credit, they build up their cash reserves, and you know, they're able to approach a bank. But you know, if you have a rich uncle and you have a great piece of property, you could propose it to them like, hey, I have the HVAC, I got the plumbing, I got the layout, you know, I got the design, I got the permit from the city. Hey, uncle, can you can you
Mhm.
fund my deal? So yes, you can go into yes, high
That's
school, yes.
that is definitely encouraging. So now, like I said, I'm so excited to talk to you, and I really jumped
Yes.
the gun on my questions.
Oh, okay,
But
okay.
for individuals that really don't understand what real estate is, can you explain to our viewers what real estate is and how does it work?
Real estate and how does it work? Real estate is the patch of land. It's the empty lot. It's the bare field. That's what real estate is. Real estate
Okay.
is a patch of land. And real estate development is taking that patch of land and make it into what develop it into your vision of what you want for that area. If I
Mm,
want single family houses, if I want multifamily houses, if I want commercial buildings, you know, or whatever you go to the city and zone that property for. So yeah, real estate is just basic land. The development side of it is taking that land and transforming it into your vision of what you see at that on that property.
that is Ron, I'm telling you, you're gonna hear me say this a lot throughout the show. That was such a good example. That
Yes,
was
yes,
excellent.
yes.
Now explain, well, you don't even have to explain it, but
Mhm.
when we say a commercial building, we're talking about like maybe a business building or maybe a shopping mall, things like that, correct?
Yes, yes. We're talking your office buildings, shopping malls, even something as your Jiffy Lube, you know, all change place. It's something commercial outside of where people someone when we
Where
discuss
someone
commercial,
lives.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So now what is the difference between a real estate developer and a real estate investor?
Mhm. Now, that's a good question. My investor's going to get mad at me. But real estate investment is more passive, and real estate development is more active. You know, a real estate investor, they buy properties, whether it's a single family, multifamily, or a REIT, you know, they buy it through stocks or something like that, but they put their money in and they get their returns passively. Unless you're one of those landlords that just like going fixing plumbing and all that, you know, they basically earn their money passively. And
Mhm.
even then, that's more maintenance and it's not, you know, but on the development side, it's real active. Like you see a property, case in point, there's a property that I bought down the street. It's empty. It's gutted from Katrina. So
Mhm.
I have to go in there, and first I have to get with the city to get the permit done. So once we get the permit done, I have to get my plumbing in first because it's easier to run your plumbing first because everything could go around your plumbing. You got to coordinate your electrician. You got to coordinate your HVAC. Then you have to coordinate your, your carpenters to do your framing and your cabinets. So it's more active. It's more, hands-on and logistics and, making sure everyone like the ant pile, right? Everyone has their duties and everyone go where they need to go. So yes, that would be the big difference. I would believe that real estate investment is passive and real estate development is more active, hands-on.
And it sounds like the real estate developer is the one that creates it, and then that investor is the one that purchases it from you, whoever
Oh,
created it, and then the investor is the one that makes maybe that monthly profit from it and things like that.
yes, that would be the perfect circle, right? Yes, the development start, it comes from bare land to a property, or whatever the vision is, and then the
Mhm.
investor take it and take it to the last step that it needs to go. It'd be a perfect circle, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to give you an opportunity to really just
Mhm.
toot your own horn for a minute though.
Oh.
Don't you think it's just exciting that, when you were younger,
Mhm.
you did want to become an architect, and, not to say engineering wasn't interesting and fun, but you took, those skills and you still had that desire to go into creating and building and becoming a developer. How proud are you of yourself that you were able to go into becoming a real estate developer full time in 2019?
Um, hmm. I, I'm trying to stay humble,
Yeah, I had to stay
I'm trying to
humble.
stay humble. We can't, but it's an accomplishment. It's an
Uh-huh.
accomplishment. It's definitely an accomplishment that we can all be proud of because it wasn't just me. I had other people in my corner, and
Yeah.
they helped me get through the tough times and the stuff like that, and we made it. We made it to the other side, and now we able to do some good things. Be able to do some good things.
And talk to us a little bit more about a support system, because I know that when I talk to kids and youth, they have these huge, big dreams, but they may have somebody that is consistently in their life that is constantly telling them, you can't do that. Oh, that is never going to work. Talk to us a little bit more about how to develop a good support system for yourself.
It's first having great friends like yourself, someone that encourages you, just someone that wants to see you win, and you just really want to surround yourself by people that wants to see you win, and make sure they challenge you to do better, and have that strong system where it's like, okay, I need somebody to bounce this off of. You have someone to go to, you can bounce ideas off of. You can kind of just kind of have that good solid foundation. And of course, you're going to have some people that say that, well, you shouldn't do it, you can't do it. That's because they don't know yet. And I think that's come from somewhere, a place where they don't know yet. But once they find out, they'll be like, oh, okay, you really want to do this and you're really passionate about this, then they'll actually get behind you. You just need to be able to communicate to the people that, that might say, you might not want to do that. Because trust me, I was told 100 million times, you have a good job. Why you want to do real estate? Like, what is a good job? I'm sorry, I had some great jobs, but it's like, like, well, you have a good job, but when it's in you, it's just in you, and just to have the people that know what, that know that, okay, this is what he does and this is what he likes, and they're gonna rally around you and give you that support to make sure that, okay, we're gonna make sure he get his vision, into reality. So yeah, definitely good, great friends, great family, and keep those people close. And the people that might have something to say, try to convert them and let them know that, hey, this is why I want to do it. This is my reason for doing it, and this is how I'm gonna do it. And once you start explaining to them,
Yeah.
like, your process, and that exactly, your time frame and your lineage and how you want to go the course, they'll be like, oh, okay, I will gladly support you.
That's
They'll
good.
they'll gladly support you.
That's good. You better one than me, Ron, because I'll be like, oh, exclude those
You
people out your life.
No, you can't.
I'll be like, they are not the ones for you. But
Oh, no.
I do want to give a shout out to Kevin Mason Smith. Thank you, Kevin, so much for tuning in. Also want to give a shout out to Denise Williams. You guys, make sure you go ahead and share this video now so that more people will know about Ron Collins and Collins LLC. If you're just now tuning in, you are watching Today I Want to Be Career Exploration interview. Like I said, we have Ron Collins. He is a real estate developer. Make sure you post your questions and your comments in the comment field. If you're tuning in from any other page other than Martinique Y. Brown, or Today I Want to Be, or even our Today I Want to Be on YouTube, make sure you come on over to one of those 3 pages, and I will be able to see your questions and comments and relay those to Ron. Now, Denise says, so a developer is more hands-on. Definitely, Denise, a real estate developer is a lot more hands-on. Shout out to Oliver Smith III. That's Kevin's husband, y'all. He said, awesome interview, educating me, bro. So,
my pleasure.
Ron.
Yes.
I always ask professionals to tell us about the day in the life of your job. But my question to you is, what will tomorrow's work day look like for you?
Tomorrow's an off day.
Well, act like tomorrow is a work day. And okay, so it is so good that you said that, though, because as an entrepreneur, you can choose when your off days are.
I ain't gonna say that. It just so happened to be close to Christmas, so that's the only reason why it's an off day, But now the typical day, so there's kind of 2 parts to it. It's the typical day when I'm in New Orleans, and the typical day when I have to be in Mobile, Alabama, because we're doing real estate development in 2 states right now. Okay. So the typical day in New Orleans: wake up, get to the gym, then go to the office, and basically, you think of the office and you think of 9 to 5. No, you're talking 8 to 6, 8 to 7, because it's a lot of things that you have to get in. You have to talk with your funding. You have to, set up your, you have to set up your materials. You have to set up your contractors. You got to make sure people get paid. So, and so you just try to condense a lot of that so you can get those random days off, right? So you just kind of try to condense a lot of that in there. And then you can basically take off and, enjoy the family. But when it's a Mobile day, I'm starting at 5 in the morning and I'm headed east. And basically it's going to a property, meeting with the contractors, giving them a punch list, giving them scope of work, and letting them know this the objectives that we're trying to accomplish today. And, we're going to try to get those objectives done. So that's basically a typical day. Just going over who's going to be on the site, what needs to be done on the site, what materials need to be done on the site, if we have to coordinate any type of debris removal or anything like that. So yeah, that's a typical day. And then at 8 o'clock or 6 o'clock now, because it gets dark early, either you're staying in Mobile or making the trek back to New Orleans.
Okay.
So, yes, that's the typical.
So, I talk about education with the students depending on the professional that we're featuring.
Yes.
I know that you got your degree in engineering, though. Did you go back to school to learn a lot more about real estate?
As a real estate salesperson, yes, I had to take the training and take a state, proctor test to learn about real estate. Now, I say about 50% that I learned in real estate was done in the field. It was once the test was over, once you finish the structure, questions that they ask, and you actually get down with a broker, You get down with a couple investors, you sit down with people. That's why the networking is so important in real estate, because it's not till you sit down with someone and the broker can tell you, oh, we have a client, he wants a house. It's like a new, like every time a new client, and you're just trying to figure out the client, work with the client, see what they like, see what they dislike, and just kind of make sure. So you can get the real estate training, but I think a lot of real estate is networking, hands-on, mentors, shadowing somebody and just making sure you're exposed to the everyday life. So it's not just book learning.
Mhm.
So that would be probably your best education, by the networking, your real estate associations, your meetups and stuff. So I think a lot of it is more hands-on.
Definitely. And one of the cool things that I just found out is, like you were mentioning, the networking side of it, but a lot of cities have different real estate associations and things
Yes.
like that. So, if you're in high school, if you are 17 and under, make sure you ask your parents if you could do this. But I know that like on meetup.com, you can type in like real estate, and you could just type in your city and you can find out all of the different organizations and groups that actually meet specifically in your city and possibly become a part of those groups as well. And you just learn so much knowledge from these individuals, because they range from newbies to experienced people that's in the field as well.
Yes, they do.
So now, how does real estate developers actually make money?
And we make money when we sell something, Trust me. Yes, we make money when we sell. That is basic. That's basic. You have to be a salesperson. You have to if you have a project timeline, you have to meet those timelines, because of course the next project is always next week or the next day. So, you want to get the house in, you want to get your people together and get the house up, ready, and out the door. So you make your money when you sell, and you want to buy low and sell high.
Yeah. So now if you are a high schooler and you are able to really, I say the word finagle, but if you are really able to negotiate with your parents about different things, you might want to look into this field because it is about negotiating.
And a quick tip to the high schoolers, I would just, how you have your friend on the next block and you kind of walk your neighborhood to the store and back. I would start with my neighborhood. I would walk down the street, see what house empty, knock on and say, hey, Mr. Johnson, who used to live here? Why is it empty? And just try to find the people just on your regular block where the house is empty.
What are you saying? So if we see an empty house and then talk to the next door neighbor?
Yeah, they might know the owner, or you might have to do a little bit more research, but sometimes you can start in your own neighborhood. And you can see the empty houses, or the houses with the high grass, or the houses with the newspaper just stacked in front of them. And, and that might be the best way you can get a deal quickly as a high schooler. And if you know someone and, you're networking, someone looking to buy in the area, you can say, hey, I can connect you with this person, and, kind of go from there.
Yeah.
But of course, my disclaimer is you need a real estate license to sell real estate. Unless it's your own. So let me throw that disclaimer in there.
Right. And if you are 17 and under, make sure that you are with your parent.
Yes, please do. Please do before you start
knocking on doors, selling yourself.
But if it's your neighborhood, we got to get to the practice of just knowing our neighbors. If it's your neighborhood, you got to be practicing on your neighbors.
That's great. But some neighbors seem friendly, but we want everybody to be safe.
Yes.
So
you got that one, right? You
got that one. But shout out to Denise. She asked a question. So how do you decide if a property or area is or can be a good investment to develop?
The best way to decide is to go to the planning meetings, your city hall, your city council planning meetings, because they will tell you where the next place going. Because when you're in these planning meetings, they will tell you, hey, there's a Walmart coming, 5 blocks away from this area, or there's something being developed, or there's some people paying cash for properties in this area. So you could just go to your city planning meetings and they'll tell you. The city will tell you the next areas that's coming up. When you
It's
start
good.
seeing the projects or the city beautification projects, that's kind of where you want to jump in right now.
Hmm.
And that's probably the best way to find an area that that's up and coming.
That's really good that you mentioned that. Now, Kevin also asked a question. People say it's a seller's market right now. If looking to invest, would you suggest buying now or wait? Great question, Kevin.
Yeah, that is a good question. It's always a buyer's or a seller's market. You just have to know when to enter, and you got to know how. You got to have a strategy how you want to buy. Because if prices right now are elevated, so you have to figure out, where am I buying? So, okay, I can't go to a real estate agent and say, I want to buy this house because it's 500 grand. And I know for a fact that, the neighborhood, it's not quite 500 grand worth, but you can go to the city, and the city have properties that's blighted. You could go to the blighted property list. You can go to the tax sale list. You can go to the high grass house in the area. So it's always time to buy. It's always time to invest. You just have to know the different avenues to get into to make that decision. And you don't ever want to, like, we just said, buy low, sell high. You never want to overpay for a property, of course. But so you just want to you just got to be able to focus in. If you know a specific area, I want to live on 123 Main Street block. So you study that area, you know who comes in, you know who comes out, every property that goes up for sale. And if that property is within your price range that goes up for sale on that block, you do your research and you are able to know, okay, someone's about to move out, someone's moving in, and you kind of move yourself in and network. And so when something comes available, okay, I want to be on this block. I want to be here. So, yeah, you have to be real strategic. But you have to be real strategic when you buy, when you have these elevated prices, so you don't overpay.
So now, are there any resources that you can quickly think of that would really help us to have a better understanding of real estate investing and developing if we were interested?
There's a group called the Urban Land Institute. You can become a member there. Some of the information on the website is free. You have your Louisiana Home Builders Associations. You got your National Home Builders Associations. You can, send out some information to them, and they'll send you back some information on some of their meetings or some of their free information also. That would be my first thing. Plus your real estate investment associations, they're always good, because most times, the first 30 minutes of networking and people say, hey, I have this deal, I have that deal. So definitely.
That's good. Thank you so much for that. So now, are there many Black real estate developers?
Yes, of course.
Said, of course.
There's two of them that I'm specifically working with. One in New Orleans called Eagle Eye Resources, and one in Mobile called Dream Builders of Mobile. I met both of those young men, and they're great. So yeah, that's two I personally work with. But I know there's a Mosaic in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So there's definitely some Black-owned real estate development companies.
Now, let me ask you this: if you know this question, answer to this question, are there many Black female real estate developers?
I don't have. I can't say that I ran into, but I know there's a strong female presence in NOREA, the New Orleans Real Estate Investment Association, and I'm sure that they're doing investment and developments. So yes, I'm sure they are.
So now one of the cool things that you spoke to us a little earlier about is like the career path that you went on top of engineering. You know, you talked to us that you were in sales, you was a broker, you was an investor, and you are now a developer. When you say sales, do you just mean a real estate agent?
Yes, a real estate agent. Yes, yes, it's a basic real estate agent. You come into the office. I take you to see a house. You tell me, no, I don't like that house. So we go to see 99 other houses. And then you finally get to decide on one. So needless to say, we had to move on from that quickly, right? But yes.
And you know, the reason why I brought that up is because, you know, we might have a young person that watches and says, okay, I'm interested in a lot of what he was talking about, but I don't want to become a developer. There are so many other career fields that you can still go into within that real estate industry. So you gave us an idea of what a realtor does. Now talk to us, explain to us briefly what a broker is.
Well, the broker is the next step up from a real estate salesperson. The broker, they shoulder the responsibility because you know, real estate agents come in, they have to have a broker that they report to. And the broker's goal or role basically is to show them, you know, how to maneuver within the rules, show them, you know, ethics, show them the rules and regulations, and show them how to properly service a client. Everybody that comes in, you have clients and you have customers. So you want to make sure that you're taking care of your client, fiduciary duties. So the broker's responsibility is to make sure that the agents are doing everything they're supposed to do within that real time. And, you know, because they guide the sale and they're supposed to sign the listing agreements and everything that the salesperson does, the broker's supposed to sign off on.
Really?
Yes.
See, I didn't know that.
Yes.
So, okay. So an individual could have a real estate brokerage firm. Is that what it would be called?
Yes, it is.
And then they would have realtors under them.
Yes, real estate salesperson under them.
Why do you like to call it a real estate salesperson as opposed to a realtor?
That's what the Louisiana, if you look at the Louisiana website for Louisiana Real Estate Association.
That's what they call
it. Goes salesperson, broker.
Got you.
And they don't say
I was just
agent.
curious.
I don't know where the agent come from, but I guess the real estate agent is just like a marketing thing, I guess. It's really a salesperson.
Got you. Okay. So I think this is great, you know, because if you have that, you know, still that entrepreneurial spirit, but you don't want to be that salesperson, you can have your own brokerage firm as well. Okay, so we already know what the real estate investor does, and now we're learning a lot more about this developer as well. So just in your opinion, if a student is really interested in becoming a real estate developer, what are 3 things they should begin doing? I know you talked to us about just networking. What are 2 other things you feel that me as a high schooler or a college student, what do I need to do?
Well, we already said networking. I would say get your organizational skills together. Take management classes, because you will be, or just expose yourself to management, management structure, management ideals, and just start thinking along that line of managing people, because that's one of the big things you're going to have to do. You're going to have to manage people, and you're going to have to know, what makes this person tick or that make that person tick, so we can all work together as a unit, because you'll have a lot of people to manage. And your management skills, and just making sure that you're focused. You got to be focused and strategic, and you have to be real purposeful when you say something, because I could tell the contractor, hey, I need a wall built right there, and just walk away, right? But I should tell them, hey, I need a wall. Make sure that you're using sheetrock or you're using mold resistant sheetrock. You have to be real specific when you're telling them this, or they're just gonna put that wall there. They're gonna use whatever materials they have right now, and and the wall will be up. It won't be right, but it'll be up. But it's right to what you told them. So you have to be real specific and real purposeful when you're talking to these different contractors and different customers and clients, and you have to let them know, okay, we're going to build that wall, we're going to put mold resistant, because that's going to be we're going to put a water closet there just in case something drip, it doesn't like mold through the house. So you have to be real specific. So that's probably two of the things, management skills and be practice, because it takes a lot. You got to practice being real purposeful when you speak. So when somebody say, okay, it was no room for interpretation. I said, put this wall here, and this is exactly what I need on this wall. So that's what I would suggest.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm seeing a lot of people saying that this is really good advice. And shout out to
thank you.
Your daughter, Ron J. Collins. She says, this is such a great interview. She said, hey. But Denise Williams asked the question. She said, does Collins LLC need a partner? LOL. But just
wait. I said that question again.
She said, does Collins LLC need a partner? And in that question, you can also let us know, if you're hiring for other positions as well.
Oh, do I need a partner? Yes. You have to speak with my legal team. I think they're on this call now. Yes, we're always looking to partner. There's always joint ventures to be had. We're always looking to mentor. We're always looking, to show people the ropes. So yes, we'll definitely be looking for partners. My contact information is in the show notes. So definitely, yes, we're always looking for partners. And right now, I'm not necessarily hiring, because my daughter, this is part of her work stuff. I have a built-in, I have built-in employees, so I'm not necessarily hiring right now. But if anyone's in the Mobile area that has laborers or contractors or licensed people or not licensed people that wants to, that's ready to work, that have their tools, we're currently trying to get 7 properties, so we will have a lot of work coming up in 2020. So we're definitely, contact me and I'll point you in the right direction and try to make sure everybody kind of, get where they need to get to.
So again, make sure you reach out to Ron. His contact information is listed in the description box as well. So, just from hearing you talk, it just seems like everything just went smoothly for Collins LLC. And we want to have all our I's dotted and our T's crossed. But can you tell us about sometimes, or maybe when you run into mistakes, or maybe there's a contractor that you have paid for and he didn't do the work that you thought he was able to perform? Tell us just about some of the downfalls or the negatives about being a real estate developer.
Do we have another hour or so to talk?
We got 3 minutes for this one.
Well, I can tell you my first piece of property, it was in New Orleans. I ain't gonna say the area, but it was a double, right? And I just thought I knew everything because I got it at a good price. I'm in it and I'm putting tenants in it. It's great. I paid. I made the mistake, and I'm gonna tell everybody: do not pay anyone until they perform the job. Because I made the mistake of paying a contractor. He was like, yeah, I need X. I think it was like $2,000. So yeah, I need $2,000 to do this work. Blah blah blah. And me, fresh out of real estate, or I'm an investor. Hey, let's go, right? I give this man a check, $2,000. Here you go, man. I called him the next day and he's like, who this? Hey, wait, what? What you mean?
Yeah. You know my
Hold up,
number.
bro. Hold up, bro. And yeah, and that was an issue. So yes, you have to be careful with these contractors. Make sure everything's in writing. Make sure they understand. And if you have to get because now when I do contractors, I get stuff notarized. It's not just simple signatures. And and we looking at stuff where we have to have certain languages in our contracts, and everything's we have to be above board because there are contractors out there. The piece of property I bought, the seller was actually, I thought the seller was a friend of mine because him and I had, we were talking, and he ended up moving to Georgia. And he was like, "Hey, Ron, I want to sell double." So I go buy the double, and little did I know, it's a friend. This when I was first starting. Now it's hard to get by me on some of the stuff now. But when I first started, oh, okay, it was a cheap price, bought it. The piping underneath, it was gone. It was wasted away. There was no plumbing. All the plumbing was going into the ground, and whenever the tenants would flush the toilet, everything would just clogged up, and it would just be sitting there. So yes, please, please. There's a lot of those. Even I, my people online, even real estate lawyers, where you're paying them to do certain services for you, and they kind of, if it's not the big deals, they'll kind of, push you to the last of the push you to the last of the line. Even finance people, they'll push you to oh well, I have a $500,000 deal, and you coming to me with this 125 deal where you get service after the big money come through, and so. Yes, definitely have to. That's where the strategy comes in, and that's where you have to be purposeful. Because if I know that I'm buying doubles, or I'm buying singles in a historic area, or I'm only buying fourplexes, you have to know exactly what you're going after, and you have to know exactly how you're going to finance it, who's going to do this, and who's going to do that. So when you go into this deal that, okay, I know exactly what needs to be done. I know exactly who's going to work on it, and I know exactly my end goal for this particular piece of property. So yes, definitely have to. It's just like a whole ball, and if you're not on your P's and Q's, you can either get taken advantage of, or it might be a simple, you just didn't know. You didn't even, you didn't think of it. You didn't think of, oh, I got a dumpster, we throwing material in, but it's lead-based paint. You can't just throw lead-based paint into the city dump. So you got to take all that stuff out, remediate it, and figure out what you need to bring this hazardous material. So thank God it never happened to me. But it's just certain things that you really have to be able to know before I even tell myself I'm gonna buy this property. You already have to have everything figured out before you go forward with this project.
So now, I know that Denise asked the question, are there any government programs or grants that would provide assistance? Denise, are you asking the question, provide assistance on purchasing your first properties? If you can just answer that, and then I'll have Ron answer that question in the comment field for us. So now I know sometimes, a lot of parents can always see things and characteristics within their own children. And they also have a lot of influence in the direction their child goes into professionally. So can you finish this sentence for me? If your child enjoys blank, they should consider becoming a real estate developer.
If your child enjoys people, because you have to be a people person, and you have to keep your emotions close to your vest.
What does that mean?
Oh, well, every situation doesn't need to be having reactions. Like, every problem, like I tell people, every problem doesn't need an immediate solution, right? Let's go sit on it and think about it, and then we'll get back to it. So, but if your child enjoys people, this is definitely the business to be in, because you get to interact with some great people. Some people, you have your fun real estate investors, you have the serious ones, you have your travelers. So, you get to interact with a lot of good people. And if your child likes people, because think about it on the different levels. If they like parties, real estate salesperson, we throwing open houses every week, right? So we
Yeah.
throwing a big party every week. You know, if you like your brokerage, you have people up under you, you're throwing an office party. You know, if you're an investor, you know, you're going to big investment meetings, you know, you so if your child likes people, this is definitely, you know, if he's a people person, he's personable, he can have a conversation with anyone, anywhere, at any time, then he would definitely like, but she would definitely like real estate.
Yeah, I'm glad you threw that she in because we did too.
Oh, yes. Oh, because my daughter on the line. So.
I know that's right. So, Ron, can you share with us what is something that's difficult about being a real estate developer?
The difficult is can people be both answers? Because you do have to deal with a lot of different, you know, personalities and emotions.
Mhm.
But probably the most difficult thing is making sure the project is executed. Because you know, you're project manager, basically, you're managing all these people. So you have to be, you know, that can be difficult sometimes because things happen. You know, it rains when you go to paint, you know, and you
Mhm.
can't paint, you know, when it's raining or stuff like that. So just the logistics side of it could be very complicated. It could be very draining sometimes. So that's
Mhm.
why you just have to take a step back, you know, kind of see where you're at and then kind of go back in, you know, with a fresh mind. But yes, definitely the logistics side of it and just trying to make sure the project keep moving forward, you know, whether it's getting, you know, material from Texas and bringing it in or, you know, because they don't have the supply in New Orleans right now. So, you know, just different stuff like
Mhm.
that. So just that management and that logistics side of it, that can be very difficult. So, and that's where you go back to know exactly who you're going to have working on the different parts of the project before you
Mhm.
even start the project.
So now, do you feel that it is important though to know how to do things yourself, meaning with the construction side of it? You're so funny, Ron.
Can I say
You can say
no,
whatever you want,
no,
Ron. Just
no,
be
no.
honest.
Now I told this to a contractor earlier today. I was in Mobile, Alabama. I was in there earlier today, and the contractor we was demoing, you know, some beadboard off a wall, and you know, he was like, yeah, if you had the right tools. I said, there's a reason why I am not buying a tool because I don't want someone to think that I'm doing this. Like, I don't want people to think that, oh, he got that too. That means he could do it. So,
Uh-huh.
if now just if you're doing maintenance, you know, if you enjoy doing the maintenance stuff, yeah, please get all your tools, get all your saws, and you know, if you like that kind of work, but you definitely don't need a construction background to be a property, you know, real estate developer. You don't
Mhm.
need a construction background, but if that's something you like working with your hands and that, I say go for it. But I don't even have a screwdriver in my house, so I ain't even trying. I
So
ain't even
funny.
trying to touch anything right now.
Yeah. So now, as a real estate developer, do you need
Yes.
to keep your real estate license current?
No, actually, I gave up my license when I became a full-time. I gave up my real estate license in 2019.
Okay.
Um, it just it's not, it's beneficial, but it wasn't necessary for the stage I was at because
Okay.
I'm past the point where I'm, you know, showing houses. I'm past the point where I'm trying to broker real estate, you know, salespeople. So, you know, I'm just past that point. So it didn't make sense for me to keep my license. Now, as far as my association fees, as far as the, you know, the real estate association fees, or I would gladly do that because I want to be able to interact with people that I know that are doing real estate deals daily, monthly, you know, stuff like that. But as far as your real estate license, you know, really needed to be a developer.
What about as an investor? Do you need to keep it up?
Um, yes, I would say as an investor, I would keep it up only because you'll get the news first. You know, when something comes on the market, you'll be able to see it first if you set up your alerts to like
Okay.
this the area I want to invest in. You know, you can set up your alerts as soon as something come on the market. Oh wow, you know, you'll be the first one to look at it or the first one to get to it. So as an investor, I would say yes. Yes, I would
Okay.
keep my license.
Okay. Now, what do you wish someone would have told you before becoming a real estate developer?
Oh, I wish somebody had told me, get my head out the clouds. You know, I'm a, I, and that's a good question because now I've had a good career in the engineering field. I had a great career. I've met some really good friends, you know,
Mhm,
doing real estate. I've met some lifelong friends doing real estate.
mhm,
Great friends, best friends. So I wish they'd have told me to follow my passion and maybe not that engineering, because not that engineering was not a passion or I didn't, excel at it, but every fiber in me, you'd be like, man, I should have been an architect. I should have, went from architecture to design and buildings and stuff like that. And maybe I would have got to this point quicker. But of
mm,
course, we take the path that we were meant to take in order to, get to where we are.
mhm,
So, if somebody say, okay, if you really, because when I was in the design school and the drafting school, and I was drawing floor plans, and I was all excited about we used to do sickle stick houses, and I'm excited about, making the model houses. And this guy like, no, you make more money over in the oil field,
mhm.
if you just follow your passion, and and you probably get to where you need to be quicker. That's what I truly believe.
But with that though, I know like when I ask that questions to
Mhm.
other, professionals, they'll say, well, I wish somebody would have told me that I'm going to have to do things that I don't always necessarily enjoy doing. Specifically with that though, as a developer, is there anything that you wish someone would have said? Like,
Hmm.
man, I didn't know I was going to have to deal with that.
Well, I wish somebody would have said, "Don't pay somebody before they did the work." So that's my big thing. Yeah, definitely. I'm telling everybody, I do not pay no one until they perform the work. So yeah, that'll be the big thing because
Mhm.
yeah, I got
Well, Ron,
you.
I just don't understand. Like, okay, when we go get
Mhm.
our car fixed, we won't pay that mechanic before they fix the car. Like, why would you think that that was okay? Did they first say, okay, I need $2,000 for the
Well,
materials?
now
So funny.
I'm embarrassed, right? Because the
I
guy
know,
took
right?
me.
Put you on the spot. Like, why would you do
Well, I was excited. Let me say that I was really excited. I was like, "Oh man, I'm an investor! Yes, yes, yes."
that?
So when he said that, I was like, I really didn't know at the time. I just didn't know because he was like, "Yeah, I need to get this. I need to get this, get that, and this and that." So when he was like, "Yeah, it's gonna be 2,000 for the job," I didn't think wait till he finished. I was like, "Oh, 2,000 for the job here," and he tell me, "Oh, wait, you can pay me half or pay me 25% and the rest when I'm done." He didn't say all that.
Mhm.
He was looking at me, write a check, like, "Oh, if you gonna give it to me, I'm gonna take it."
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
it just me being excited and just being green and didn't know, what really entailed it. So, but no, not never again. Never again.
Yeah.
Never.
And Ron, can you tell us just about the importance of just getting out there and doing it? Not saying that it's not important to do your research and to talk to people, but
Mhm.
sometimes I know that we can just become afraid about going out there and
Mhm.
doing it because we feel that we need all these years of, this training and doing all these other things before just going out there and practicing because there is so much learning, like you were saying, in actually doing it. And then that's when you learn from your mistakes. Do you feel that there's any value in just going like realizing, okay, I'm never going to learn everything,
Yes.
but I need to go out there and try it.
I think sometimes people like they want to wait for the perfect time or wait till everything's perfect. And if that's the case, you're gonna be waiting forever. Because like you say, it's so much knowledge and it's so much out there. You'll
Mhm.
never be able to take it all in. And if you're waiting to take it all in, then you'll be waiting because as think of it every day. There's new information, new technology. Everything's always coming out. So you just have to stay abreast and be able to just get out there and do it. But yes, please, if you're interested, just go out, have a conversation with someone. Like I tell people will come up and be like, hey, what it'll take for me to sit down and talk with you. I say, you can just buy me lunch. Now, anything past lunch, I'm not free no more. You know, I used to be free. But, you know, anything past lunch, you know, we could discuss it. But it'll take, you know, in an hour and a half, 2 hours, I will gladly give you any information you need to go forward. And I'm sure that some of the information, you know, that I can give you just over a simple lunch will actually help you to get started with your real estate development.
Do you offer any type of consulting though? Because you have been able to work so many aspects of the field.
I don't offer consulting, but I do offer mentorship.
That's good.
I don't, and I don't necessarily think the information I have is, you know, the information is free out there, and you know, you can gather a lot of this information just by doing your research. So I would gladly mentor someone that's interested and that's actively doing it, but just need to get like some more insight.
Yeah.
And all it would take is lunch. Yeah, I don't do any consulting, but I would gladly be a mentor to anyone, you know.
Well, the great thing. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was about to say, all I ask is that you do the work, because as a mentor, if you come to me and you say, okay, I want to do this, there's certain things that I'm gonna put in place to make sure that you excel at what you're doing. All I ask is that you put in the work, because we don't want to waste each other's time. At the end of the day, we don't want to waste each other's time. All I ask is that you put in the work. And if you put in the work and then come back on the next lunch, I'll pay for it. And then you be like, okay, I don't think this for me. Then, you know, we shake hands and go. But all I ask is, if you ask me to be your mentor, just put in the work.
Definitely. Now, Ron, some of our viewers though are nationwide. You know, how would the whole lunch, or they may be even international. How would that whole lunch thing, how would we play that lunch thing out?
That's a good question. We could have a Zoom meeting over coffee. You know, I could be at a coffee shop in New Orleans. They could be at a coffee shop in France, and we could have a Zoom meeting over coffee.
Well, Ron, this is not the end yet. I just have a couple more questions for you, but I really appreciate you for offering to mentor individuals, you know, because I know that you are full of information, but you also have a busy schedule, you know, and for you to actually take time out and help people to see if this is something that they're interested in doing. I just thank you so much for putting that out there.
Yes, my pleasure.
So if you're interested in contacting Ron, make sure you go to that description box. It is listed in the description box. So Ron, what would you tell your younger self? Let's say your 15, 16-year-old Ron, what would you say to him?
I don't know what I would tell my high school self. And I say that because I kind of knew, not that I kind of knew, but you know, it was kind of, when I was in high school, I knew that when I graduated, I was going to the Marines. You know, I knew that I was going to school to do architecture, detail design. I kind of knew where I wanted to be. But I would tell myself to just stay focused and keep your eyes on the prize, keep your eyes on the goal, you know, because you made it there. So if you would just stay focused, you'll get to where you need to get to. Because we don't quite have it all figured out. And you know, people are like, oh yeah, make sure you tell yourself to do this, and this. And as long as 15-year-old Ryan stay focused, 15-year-old Ryan will be in a position where, you know, he can have a company called Collins LLC, which is like, I keep saying that because I had to fight for that. You know, like somebody didn't want to get that name up, so I just had to make sure that I got that name. That's all.
And we actually have some people tuning in from our YouTube channel. Jaden Sargent I'm guessing Jaden is a male, maybe. He said, as a third year architectural engineering technology major. Oh,
Okay.
that's
Okay.
major.
Oh, I like this.
That's major. He said, as a third year architectural engineering technology major, could I start making moves in the real estate world without a license?
Hmm. Hmm. Yes, you can, but just know, the big thing is real estate wholesaling, and I know in the state of Louisiana it's illegal. You can't sell a house without a license to someone that's not yours. You can't sell a house that's not yours to someone else without a license. You need a license to practice real estate. So, but, but, of course, there's always but legalese, right? But you can connect certain people together and do your networking, and just get exposure and stuff like that. And you can definitely see what's selling, see what areas you want to be in, see what neighborhoods, what type of property, get that strategy together, how you want to, make moves in the real estate world, and start networking with people that's doing it. And if you can just so happen to connect people together without you being part of that sale, just make sure that they take care of you for your information.
Make sure they take care of you for your information.
Yes, because you're still networking, and you're still putting together people. You're still putting together sales. You can't get a commission. You can't get paid to sell the real estate, but you can offer different services in order. You can offer to stay there for their inspections. You can offer to cut the grass. And they'll just make sure that you have that network and have that relationship to where you get compensated for what you brought to the table.
So it would more so be like a referral fee that you could maybe put in place.
Yeah,
like
something like, but just make sure you provide the service, because you can't just do just a simple referral fee, but just make sure you provide the service. That's all. That's all. And just get paid for your service.
Okay. So Jaden, if you have additional information or questions for Ron, please reach out to him, because I had additional questions for Ron. But please reach out to him. His contact information is listed.
You can't get a commission outside your real estate license, and it has to come from a broker. So make sure, like I say, you can't do any brokerage duties, but you can do some other stuff. You can just provide a service.
Okay. And Jennifer Taylor also says, tuning in from YouTube, so great to hear that your hard work and dedication manifests. Thanks for sharing. And I enjoyed this interview. Also, we have Love Megan, Magna 57. She said, hello. Also, Ron, with this, because I'm hearing about the real estate license. Is that a difficult thing to get?
No, it's not necessarily difficult. You just, like any other standardized test, you just have to study the material and just know the material when you see it, because they throw a lot of questions in there that kind of throws you off. They'll put a lot of extra information that's not needed, and you just got to make sure that you can barrel down on the question that they're asking. And just so when you see, a rule, a regulation, or a specific thing that they're talking about, you just need to be able to know it when you see it. But no, it is not difficult. It's not difficult.
Yeah, and so in order to keep it current, would you have to take any other test, or do you just pay a fee?
No, it's a continuing education every year. So, and they offer them free through the Real Estate Commission. They offer it free. Yeah, they offer you your continuing education for free.
Oh, continuing education, but they won't offer the license free.
Oh, no. You have to pay maybe, I think total, when I was deep into it, it was probably about $800 to $1,000 a year to maintain your state license. But one sale will take care of all that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So now, Ron, why did you want to be a part of the Today I Want to Be products?
Well, because I know our youth need different avenues, and I want to be able to expose them to different things, different way of looking at things, and and if they have the personality, the go get it, you know, go get an attitude to be able to be a real estate development, I want them to be able to reach out to me so I can guide them on, high school, college. I can guide them exactly, the way to go, so
Mhm.
you're not paying this guy $2,000 for no work. So, just want to be able to show them different ways and different things that you can do outside of the normal, careers that they focus on. You just want to be able to have options. And sometimes those options, you can find something that you're good at
Yeah,
and you can pick up on them
definitely.
and you
And
can,
and you can what? Say that
and
again.
be successful. You can be successful.
Yeah. And that's the great part about it as well. Shout out to also Sarah. That's who the Love Magna 57 was. Thank you so much for tuning in. But I think the cool thing about your career is, like you said, I had never heard of a real estate developer
Hmm.
until my 30s.
Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
so
Mhm.
I think that I'm so thankful that you agreed to be a part of Today I Want to Be, just for the exposure, but like you said, to also show kids that there are so many other career fields that you can go into. And there's people that look just like you, high schoolers and
Yes.
college students that are successful in their careers. And that's why I'm so thankful that God gave me the ability to create this platform so you all could actually talk to these successful professionals who look just like you, as well as be able to also stay connected with them
Yes.
as well. Again, viewers, I thank you all for taking time to watch another episode of Today I Want to Be Career Exploration interview. This is our last interview for
Oh.
2021.
Oh.
Again, if you're interested in staying in contact with Ron, if you're interested in additional information about his company, if you're interested in partnering with him or being
Yes.
mentored by him, make sure you go to that description box and contact him as well. If you're interested in purchasing any of our career exploration products, make sure you go to that description box as well. Click on that link that's right there next to that little buggy, and you can be directed to our products as well. Continue to share this video, and we thank you again for tuning in to another episode, and we hope that you have a great Christmas and a happy New Year.
Oh,
Bye-bye.
Merry Christmas.